Hi, I'm Tinny from Mini Bowl Design, and I'm heating up some cocoa here, but I got way too much stove. I really made a mistake using that much stove. I've got an M3 here with a regular top on it, and it's not going to take long. So, this is going to have some cocoa. It's 7 o'clock. Everything's done. Everything's in the store. I think I don't know if I sold both of those M2SBs that I made in the earlier video or not. I know I sold one earlier. I know the other one's still in there or not. But it'll probably sell by morning, which means tomorrow night I'll get to make 2 more. Tonight I want to talk about, what do I want to call it? Just a general tone of the ultralight backpacking industry. It's not going to take long for this water to come. It's just started getting bubbles on the bottom, starting to talk. Yeah. The general tone of the backpacking industry is one I want to talk about. Not backpacking in general, but ultralight backpack. Be more precise, alcohol stoves and ultralight equipment. Gotta get this off here. Yikes. Wow. That is hot. There's a lot of really good people that make videos and things. Lots of times they'll make a video where they're out hiking. Like, I think the guy's name is Frank. I watched some of his. Real good attitude. Real good for the industry. Really shows what's possible if you have the right equipment and the right attitude. Guy puts on a lot of miles. Always nice. And I think that's good. I try to be nice as much as possible. Every now and then I have a cloudy day. But generally speaking, I try to be civil and nice to people. And I try to promote the sport. You know, get out and hike and that type of thing. But there are some people, or some videos, probably shouldn't even say people, that are real mean-spirited. And there are some people that are mean. They're just mean by nature. And when they're on camera, they're really mean. They just come off really hateful and mean. And that's not good for the industry. Not good at all. And as somebody else mentioned, lots of times you won't see it anywhere else, but on the ultralight backpacking YouTube videos like this one, you'll see a lot of times where there'll be dislike. You know, there'll be a like and dislike, and there'll be a whole bunch of dislikes. You don't usually see that anywhere else. Most people don't even bother with it. But it appears on this type of video, the alcohol stove videos, that people actually don't even watch the video. They just go, bring it up, and click dislike and leave. You know, I've timed it before, and that's the only way it could be. I've seen a video come on, and within a minute, and it's like a 6-minute video, within a minute there's a dislike up there. So they're just coming on, and as soon as they see who it is, they immediately hit dislike. You don't see that in other sports. Oh, it's good. It's kind of cold up here. So this is kind of a hateful sport. Now, I would like to change that. I would like to have it more like other things where everybody more or less got along. And I don't know whether there's just no way to fix this or whether we just all got off on the wrong foot to begin with. I'd like to think we just got off on the wrong foot, and that if we go back and look things over that we can fix it. But I'm not sure whether we can or not. Leave your comments, let me know what you think. Now, like, just for an example, Zelf and I have not been friends for years, and we are now. We're fine, as far as I know. I haven't checked lately, but last time I checked, we were still friends. Could change anytime, I guess. But it should be a live and let live. We shouldn't be running down each other's stoves. And that's another example. in this industry, I'll just give you a quick example. If I'm watching a video, a backpacking video, and somebody's being a dummy and saying that somebody's stove won't boil water, they don't say who, they just say the competition stove won't boil water. I don't even think they're talking about me, and here's why. If somebody says a stove won't boil water, I'm not immediately going to take offense to it, because there's probably 20,000 people or 20,000 of my stoves out there that boil water just fine. So anybody that knows me, anybody that's ever had one of my stoves, know they boil water just fine. And if that's not enough, I've got over 1,000 videos, and in a lot of them you'll see my stoves and they're all boiling water. So if somebody says the competition stoves won't boil water, I don't think they're talking about me. And if I did take offense to it, the only reason I could think why I would take offense to it is if my stove wouldn't boil water. And, you know, that would be kind of a guilty conscience thing, where my stove wouldn't boil water, but I don't want anybody to mention it. So if I'm talking about somebody's stove and I'm laughing and saying the only reason why they wouldn't bring their water to a boil for their meal is if the stove probably not hot enough to boil water, you know, if you're jumping down my throat on that, that probably means you got a guilty conscience, because your stove's probably not as hot as it should be. That's the only reason I can think for somebody to promote not boiling water. As if they've got a stove that doesn't boil water that well. Other than that, it's a no-brainer. The difference between, and here we go being hateful again, but I'm not being hateful, I'm stating the fact, the difference between crunchy noodles and lukewarm coffee and well-done noodles that are nice and warm and tender and nice hot coffee is about 2 minutes. And the amount of alcohol a stove is going to burn one way or the other in 2 minutes it's nothing. And even if you blow it out, you're still going to evaporate off just as much. You're not gaining anything. And if the extra 2 minutes to boil it, on the other end, if you're waiting for the food to rehydrate without it being boiled, it's like an extra 5 or 10 minutes. So there's nothing to be gained by it. So I'm just, for the life of me, can't figure out why you wouldn't want to boil water. It escapes me. And I'm not pointing my finger at anybody. It's just a general, I'm not talking about anybody in general. I'm just talking about that thought train of, oh, I can bring it up to 180, 185, something like that, and blow it out and save all kinds of alcohol. You're not saving anything. Plus, you're going to have a lousy meal. So I think this thing of not boiling water, we ought to put that to bed. I don't even want to talk about it anymore, because it's just dumb. You know, you obviously want to boil water, if for no other reason than just to make sure that it's sterilized. So, now this cocoa, I don't know what the temperature of it is. When I first drank it, I think a coffee maker takes it up to like 185. So this was probably like, I really don't know, I'm going to guess 170. A little too hot to drink when I first started. It's probably down to like 140 now. The steam is rolling off of it, but it's just about right to drink. The problem with having a liquid at like 180, that's too hot to drink, but it cools off really fast. It doesn't have a chance to warm a cup up as much or what, but it cools off much faster than if you make it a little too hot to drink and let it cool back. At any rate, I'd like to see the ultralight backpacking industry more friendly. And there's a lot of really friendly people out there, but there's a few that are really mean and rude. And there's a few commenters that are just right out in the ozone. They're so rude. They're not on my site. They don't comment on my site anymore. I haven't for a long time. But there are some videos I go to, and I go down through and read the comments, and the comments just makes me blush. Wow, really, really rude. Now, if somebody was making comments on my videos, and I see a comment that's rude, hateful, I immediately delete it. And I would ask or recommend that all you guys that are making videos all of you, and I think you know who you are. You go down through your comments, and if you find one in there where somebody's calling somebody names, bad names, and just being a real patoot, it casts you in a bad light. If you leave those comments there, that's saying that you approve of them. And if they're really nasty, rude, hateful comments, that reflects on you. My comments reflect on me. So if I leave those comments up and let other people read them, that just shows what type of person I am. So I don't allow that. If at all possible, I get rid of them. And you may want to do the same thing. Well, that's my 2 cents, and I welcome yours. I'm Tinny from Mini Bull Design. Get out and hike. Take a friend. Enjoy the great outdoors, and more important than anything, try to have a really great day. Bye-bye.